Peace, family. Sister Anjali, how you doing? I hope you are actualizing that might and power that is just put in you. You are so wealthy. There is not a bank on the planet that has the means to secure all your riches. That said, this subject is gigantic. So this is the first time I've gone live in a while. I didn't pre-announce it, but there's so much to put in here. I just gotta. Usually I try to compose it, but then there's like massive tonnage of editing that goes on after that. And I can't do that. And so there was, I don't even know how I have all this stuff lined up here, but let me share my screen here. Right, the share screen. This is all going to be real. Select entire screen. Allow. And I like it. I like it like that. Okay, that'll be better. Um, yeah, let's just go right to the first thing that hits my mind, and we'll get back to the pager, the bombing of all those folk. Peace, brother Emmanuel Briggs. How you doing, King? It's good to see you. Thanks for joining me with no invite whatsoever. My apologies for not letting you know, family, that I was going to go live, but it just struck me that I had to. Oh, brother Ali Hammond, you know what? That's part of the conversation, brother. That's a very good point, because if they can wire a pager, why can they wire technology that's even more just nuanced and detailed? Ah, thanks. You're so welcome, beloved. Thank you for coming on through, because my page, my channel ain't nothing without you, okay? So if they can wire a pager, and knowing that these guys, Dr. Shi has been so informative for me in terms of that men's mentality, where men are going to be able to understand fear mongering and war mongering better than I can, because I'm walking around like la 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 la. Life is meant to be just so wonderful and cheery, and then bam, I got hit by Fukushima. And so I've been trying to understand these devils as best as I can, when I have absolutely no acumen for like war. So he had mentioned that with and I'm not here to take anybody's side, because I know that's what they want. They want us to put a foot in their devilishness. And I'm not. I'm stepping up and out to our sovereign nation, our heaven. But uh as with the Ukraine and Russia fighting, and I had posted a meme about how they were now allowing Nazi friendly posts on Facebook. And that's because under Obama, we all know how so many of us feel about Obama now, but I remember when he first was elected, and Dr. Shi again had let me know, yo, this dude ain't right. And I did the research. I found out this dude ain't right. I remember the fight you had to put up with from a lot of us who just wanted to love a black seeming man, but he's not black, just as much as Kamala isn't black. He's not black. And so under him, and they got started with Nazi organizations funding. The US started funding Nazi organizations in what I believe was still called Belarus, but maybe, I don't know when they changed their name to Ukraine. But that whole war started, I ain't on Putin's side either, because all these countries bow down to the satanic elites. And so they're going to stay on cue. They're going to stay on script. Otherwise, Putin would say something about Fukushima. Putin would say something about the whole scandal thingamajibby that I still can't speak like I'm a grown up, right? In a country of free speech, just like they envy us for our freedoms. I still can't talk like I'm a grown person. And so with that, just step up to war, I firmly conclude, they were trying to hide the overall carnage coming from Chernobyl. And what better way to hide carnage than creating more carnage? And in the middle of that, Dr. Shi let me know that they sell arms, they sell weapons. That's one of the things they've learned about war. It is so ridiculously profitable for them. And so when I look at these pager things, literally that was such a war crime going on there. Right? As I say, I'm not taking anybody's side. When I did the meme about the Nazi thing, a brother, True Seeker 24, came in and very aptly reminded me of the crimes on the other side. So I'm not taking anybody's side, because it's just, when it comes to white inner sanctums, there's so much bastardization, so much spying, so much Satanism. No wonder there's not a single white person out there who has been effective enough to stop it. They all kind of just give up, right? So I ain't wading into that hellhole. I'm just saying, for our own safety, they're selling this whole concept of exploding stuff. There was this video that I watched, and I thank this channel, White Dude. I don't want anything but real diversity. So I know they're not my friends. I know they're not our friends. I know that every single chance they get, they don't need facts to hate us. They'll make up whatever they need to on the fly. So I don't know anything about this guy. I always say that when I'm, shouting out or not shouting out, just giving credit, because I'm not like these white folks out here who they'll steal from us and never give credit. I'll give credit. If I got something from you, thank you very much for that little tidbit. All right. But this guy right here was talking about all the, predictive programming for cell phones and things exploding, that it's not just with the pagers. It doesn't have to stop at the pagers. I mean, because Daily Mail was, oh my God, they were in a love fest over this war crime, where in the comments section, I was reading the white people, just like they gloat over the cops assassinating us, they were gloating over these Hezbollah, members being killed. But where would they be? Where were they? Some children were killed because it's a pager. You could be in an enclosed car, as one of them just exploded terribly violently, and you're dead. So why in the world, if you are that despicable, where one comment they said that, oh, I'm so glad to see they've removed the Marquess of Queensberry rules, as if they invented being peaceful. No, they have wars constantly. It's like almost impossible to see a time, even when they call it Pax Romana with the Romans, that they say it lasted 1,000 years. Oh, they were taking over territories and keeping people in check. So they were literally at war, not at peace. That's what Pax is supposed to mean, P-A-X, peace. No, that's not what it was. Stop lying. Okay? And so anyone that despicable who would remotely detonate and not confirm who you're killing, who's in the room with them, did they give their pager or their cell phone to somebody else so that they would be harmed? We have our children on these devices. We have them up against our heads regularly. Matter of fact, at the beginning of this, he showed a clip from a movie that I can't play. He could play it because he's a white dude and he's not talking about Fukushima, even though they're white dudes who they could play clips of things and they're talking about Fukushima, but we are the target. Black, you and me are the target of that attack that nobody talks about. And they will not allow a voice such as mine and those who know, like Brother Sagoon, Ogem Benny, my apologies. I think I'm always getting your last name incorrect, brother. So my sincere apologies. They shadow ban his comments constantly. He knows, he understands the dynamics of man-made radiation and what Fukushima did that is just spectacular. So they're like, oh, no, 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 no. We don't want you to get the impression that intelligent Black men and intelligent Black women can help protect our people. No, okay? And so right here in this scene, let me go to it. Let's see. Can I get to it? I don't know. Hold on a second. I don't want to play this. So I have to cut it off real fast. Right there. And hit that. Okay, so this had Jamie Foxx in it. I never watched it because by then I realized that he is just another celebrity. But, you know, oh, right, over here, he has a scene from the next, he's talking to the president. And let's see now, where is it? Is it there? Oh, it was further past that. And it was on for a bit. My apologies. You coming with me for the whole ride. Okay. Okay, I can't find that little clip there. So let's see if I can get it here. But anyway, yeah, they're reacting because her head just got blown off because she was like, Jamie said, after you warned me about the cell phone, and she's like, I can do whatever I want. She puts the thing up to her head and bam, she gone. She gone. So this is predictive programming, just like with The Simpsons, but The Simpsons isn't the only thing that they do, you know, stuff like that about. Here you go, your cell phone exploding. Every single year, they increase the spyware on these devices. They increase the energy coming from these devices, and they can selectively target what device they want to activate and which one they don't. That was one of the things when it comes to the, you know, here, roll up your sleeve. I got talk like a 5-year-old, okay? During the whole, you need to stay in your house because you don't want to kill grandma. That whole thing right there had nano particles within it that could be identified, that had encoding in them. And so that they could just simply identify you. And you know, they're building up to more of this with the hints of, oh, you know, the other things that are out there that are coming on the horizon, right? These people, they can't stop. This is not simply them, you know, having a little fun, a little giggles. They've exploded the biggest nuclear power plant on the planet. Was it 13 years ago? It was 2011. So yeah, 13 years ago. 13 years ago. And the carnage just becomes more and more devastating. They can't hide it because they've already lost. They've already lost. They have nothing. They will never confess because they're going to hell anyway. And this is hell. They're going to the nothingness, which is far worse than hell, right? In hell, Allah will give you a chance to figure it out and say, okay, all right, I'm really sorry. But when you go to the nothingness, he might get back to you. In the Holy Quran, it says, and there will eventually be no, everybody will be out. Everybody will get it. Everyone will understand. But who knows how long that's going to take? Okay? So they know they could be in there forever. And every single second, just thinking of the science of antimatter, every single second is like the Hellraiser movie times everything that's ever existed on every single aspect of your soul, because you ain't going to have the permission from Allah to have a body anymore. Okay, I don't want to get too much into it, but these dudes, they're deluded if they think that, you know, oh, it's going to be a party, you know, we're going to have sex all the time. No, 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 that's just in hell, where Allah is giving the righteous people a chance to see. Just bow down and ask for his protection and his assistance and his guidance. And then we're good. That's why all of this is going on now, because we were being a little too disagreeable A little too disagreeable, okay? And so let me see. Let me first come on over to the chat that I like, which is over here, because then if there are any people with wrenches, right there, and then you can get rid of them folks who are just basically, let's see now. No, that's not what I want. Oh, pop out right there. That is what I want. Okay. Um, you family can dispense with them quickly. Peace, beloved brother Marcus Yukon. How are you? It's nice to meet you. I'm always happy to meet. Oh, it's that Canadian dude. Oh, I know you. You are such a wonderful brother. Okay, so let's go on to the reason why I put on the thumbnail what Black us don't talk about will get us killed. Okay? It just because the pager thing. I'm like, nobody. Dr. She was the one who noticed that right out the bat and mentioned it to me because we wind up being two eyes in different Black concentrated social media platforms. And I was like going to my Facebook. I've been loving people's comments and just postings on Facebook. It's real weird. It did a switch up IG because they hunt you down and they send you the worst pablum. I'm always subscribed to Black love and Black babies and stuff like that. But then I'm just like, why can't I find anything about radiation? Why can't I find they're like TikTok. They'll make sure they veer you to something that they're like, oh, she can't do much damage over here. Okay, so send her there. Right. But on FB, at least I still have the same people I'm sub to. And so you guys, you've been like on it. I love you. And you hate Kamala. I mean, you don't hate her, but I mean, it's like, we know everything about it. We know about the wokery. We know about the, you ain't Black. We know all that stuff. Okay. So let's start out right here. Yeah, I can start here. What can there's so much. Oh my God. Let's see. What was this right here? Was this another airplane crash? Okay. Oh no. I don't, like I said, I don't have this lined up in a way. I'm just going to go through everything. So I know that I haven't missed anything. And that means it may, I'll just hold on with me. Here we go. Rising athlete deaths prompt Florida district to require heart checks. What they mean is the teenagers. Let me explain it real quick with radiation. Radiation affects the youth more viciously than it does middle range people 25 to say 55, where you're not growing anymore and you're also still have your youthful vitality so that your body has a chance at hunting down the results of taking in radiation. But the youth are growing. They're growing. They have little soft portions of their bones, their, organs. Everything is just growing exponentially, needs a lot of nutrition in a society that through Codex Alimentarius, I think it's called, started by he wasn't a doctor, but Fritz T. Meyer, who was a Nazi he ran Auschwitz. He ran the town or the little section where they had all the Jewish people sequestered. And he went to jail after the Nuremberg trials for a short period of time. He got out real fast, even though he was found to be a war criminal, because he came up with an idea and he just sent it off to the people he knows. And somehow it reached the United Nations. Oh, that we could use food to kill people, right? And so we're not eating a very nutritious fare in terms of what's available in the supermarket. They even have the nerve to call the stuff with all the pesticides, the poisons in it, conventionally farmed. And they call the organic like, oh no, we have to, it's like alternative medicine. We have to put it over there. It's like, misinformation in this section where they're still allowed to use certain unnatural methods in order to increase the shelf rate so that they could ship us the organic produce, right? The best thing to do is to grow your own, right? But many of us, we don't have that ability. We live in an apartment, but at the same time, I'm looking at, I'm sure, I don't know, I'm sure the light from over here is coming in. We're growing our own food too. No, we can't live off of it at this point in time. But at this point, my moringa trees are so gigantic that I can eat them like at least once a week. There was a whole week where I was eating moringa every single day. I use it as just to add flavor to my salads because it's, for me, it's really spicy, but it's delicious. It's wonderful additive. And so we have the okra. Oh my goodness, the basil. I've been eating basil every single night with my salads. It's so wonderful. And it's so much better when you grow it yourself, because we would used to get the basil in the pot that you get from Whole Foods, and you think it should last a long time. It doesn't really last that much longer than the stuff that they cut and then they put it in a little container, because as soon as you cut a little bit off, it gets this like real weird silvery blight on the leaves. But the basil we're growing, I just keep cutting that stuff and it just keep growing, and it's delicious. It tastes much better than the stuff that's in the supermarket, right? And so I'm just saying that Codex Alimentarius and the GMO, it's taking the nutrition out of our food. So children's bodies are going to absorb that radiation far more. And so that's why you have like this next one. I know what this is, where this chick, Jillian Michaels, she's supposed to be a fitness expert. Like I say, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Maybe she's a decent one or not. But if you're not talking about the radiation, you ain't talking about crap. You're not talking about crap, because it is a factor. It is a huge factor in everything that we consume, everything we breathe, right? And so that's why it's not just the cancer, because radiation doesn't just cause cancer, causes every single debilitation there is. Thyroid disorders is the first sign of a radiological contamination. And that's the thing that Hillary Clinton warned her staff in her emails that got released to the public. But just like with the pagers, we kind of didn't pay enough attention. She was like, okay, the plume is coming, even though Obama said, oh no, it's all the way over there in Japan. Don't you worry your little head about it. It can't reach over here. Are you kidding? When China has a pollution foggy day, they worry in New York City about whether or not it's going to reach on over here during the Dust Bowl. All that dust made it on over to Manhattan. Of course, the winds blow easterly. So the United States was hammered. It was hammered. Hillary Clinton told her staff, stay indoors, get yourself some potassium iodide. I don't recommend the potassium iodide. I recommend a brand called Detoxidine that you could get off of Amazon. And the reason why is because the sucker hasn't stopped fissioning. It hasn't stopped spewing stuff from Fukushima, and all these nuclear facilities spew nonstop radioactive hot particles. And so that's creating a greater ambient level of radiation. Let me share something with you that I learned that I was like, God damn, these people are just evil. Okay. When it comes to, they always say, well, you know, it's only slightly greater than background levels. They mean the level of radiation. But everything that comes out of a nuclear power plant, after 1 year, if it increases the level of radiation in the surrounding area, which of course it's going to do, they then say, oh no, but that's background levels. So the levels right now that they say, oh no, that's normal, that's normal. No, it's not. It includes every single nuclear bomb test, because these particles don't just dissipate, they don't just degrade. They last for upwards of hundreds of billions of years for the depleted uranium. Okay? Other ones could have a shorter half-life, like plutonium. It's like 280,000 years for its full half-life. There's a whole, the way these people lie. It is really good to have a sister like me who loves you, keeping abreast of all of this, because these are things we don't talk about, and it's on our plates. So before I even go any further, so that I wait all the way at the end and then you're gone, go right now over to 25,000yearcycle.org and avail yourself of our products. Or you could go into, they hide the pinned comments now because they know they don't want you supporting me. They don't want you knowing. You need someone like me to keep paying attention to this hell, so that I slowly, after a while, found out, wait a minute, there's things you could do about this stuff. That's what they don't want. That's why when I put my book on Amazon to sell, they shadow banned it. They censored it. What? They put it in pornography, and you can't even, there's nothing pornographic in it. Okay? So I'm saying that's how much that is the strategy to get us. And so going back to Jillian Michaels, right? She got in front of Congress, and they are applauding her for an epic rant about America's chronic disease epidemic, calling it an extinction level event. This is the first time I've heard anybody mention the like up in Congress in this day and age, post Fukushima, right? And the reason why I'm saying that it's affecting the children in terms of this just surge in, what do they call it? Not chronic wasting disease. That was for the starfish. But they're calling it brain rotting. There's a rotting disease that you would think it's a lot of white people getting it. But then you would also think that there was a lot of white people who their children are being overcome by, the heck is it? The one where, I can't remember. It, wow. Okay. It's the one where they wind up banging their heads against the walls and doing all sorts of things like that. It turns out that actually there's a higher percentage of Black children affected by this disease. I can't even say one of the reasons why, but also radiation causes it. And so when it comes to these different diseases, when you see it affecting the children, then that's how I know that's an actual disease, because radiation increases the power, the frequency, the virulence of these different contagions, the bacteria and the viruses. I'm a little bit, because I've been doing more research on the whole virus model, and it's I can't say anymore because, like I said, I'm like 5 years old up here. But with that ambient radiation level going up, background radiation going up, it will be increasing all of these different virulent, toxins, virulent, pathogens. And so that is the reason why this chick who's up here is calling an extinction level event, because when they look at the projected models that they don't share with us, the death rate with all the different things that are taking us out, they don't need to make our cell phones explode, even though they will. They will, right? So I highly recommend using the speaker on your phone. Don't sleep next to your phone. You should be sleeping with it in the first place because it's putting off those EMF waves. But as a matter of fact, let me come on in while I'm thinking about it and share. Let's see, where are you, Duck? Are you all the way over here? No, you're not. You're over. There you go. All right, let me remove this for a moment. And so I could get a picture that is the energy that these different contraptions put out. There we go. right? And now let me share again. Let's see, right there. And add. Thank you very much. And there we go. Right? And so I've shared this many times, and it's necessary. It's necessary to emphasize because they keep us distracted. This is the result of the distractions, is that what is on our plates, in our food, all the way at the end, over on your right, the gamma waves, that's in your food. Because the radiation, it diffuses everything. You can't see it, you can't taste it, you can't feel it, but it's putting out levels of energy that would just like fry. Like here, I said it before, this is a level where they electrocute people to death, right? This is your cell phone right here. It's terrible. Don't sleep next to your cell phone. No. But with a pager, with a little pager, they managed to kill people. It didn't get too much far out of this range of energy. But in your food is something emitting what is stronger than X-rays, gamma rays. Gamma rays, because that's what happens when it's a particle, it's an actual atom that is so unwieldy with all of the protons and electrons all over it that it just will shoot out one of these little particles, creating a level of force that rips everything out around it. And it creates a wave, just like there's sound waves. These waves are so potent, they shred whatever's next to it. So you're eating this crap, and that energy is more frantic on levels. I mean, this is like, I even forgot what this is, like 30 hertz. It's not just gigahertz. It's like, just go look it up. We are really good mathematically. A lot of brothers like my king, I'm like, whoa, he'll just put stuff together. And I went and I did the math. This is quantities of like 1 trillion times more frantic than just a gigahertz. Okay? And so this in a particle in your food, and it gets embedded like it is in the children, that ain't good. That ain't good. That's why I keep saying it's like swallowing a damn X-ray machine. Only you leave it on constantly, because this sucker may not be over with you until, I don't know, what was it, 400 billion years later, according to the full life of depleted uranium. Okay. And so I want to explain these different things again, because we need to understand what the hell is going on and why it's going on. So let me get back to that chick over here, Jillian Michaels, who gets standing ovation in Congress for epic rant about America's chronic disease epidemic. That's the increase in what they would now call just a background radiation. But it includes every single source of man-made radiation since Madame Curie discovered radium. Everything that's added to it, they just add it to the natural background levels. And what's happening? I got this, oh Lord, this beautiful little girl. No, that's not you, lovely. Let's see, let's find, there you are, right there. Okay, I am gonna stay uncrying, all right? But I doubt it. This little girl just died of sepsis. Like I said, with it comes to the oh God, I wish I could remember what that condition is. But in the meantime, we have this assumption, and I had this assumption that all these things are just happening to white people, because white people love white people. I mean, they don't really love each other, but at the same time, they understand each other. They're going to talk about each other. So when you see all the articles about children dying of sepsis, you just make an automatic assumption. It's just them. Oh, well, Right? Now, I'm not saying I'm sorry for their children too, but it's about us saving each other because they sure as hell ain't coming to save us. Okay? And that's a natural order of any group, any system, species is self-protection. It's an instinct. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't mean I'm mean, okay? Because they get away with all kinds of evil. And we just kind of go, oh, well, but it's white people. It's all right. Okay? So this little girl, she gone. And it makes me question just how many, because so many deaths I collect and I used to share of the youth going just right on the field of athletics. Our youth. Yes, there's lots of white children out there dying too, but I'm not here for them. Okay? And so I'm just saying, everything I've been talking about long before all of the, no, you need to stay in your home so you don't kill grandma phase. I was talking about it years before. Years. I showed how the World Health Organization back in 2 years after Fukushima said there was going to be a 70% increase in cancers worldwide. Worldwide. How the hell did they know? Because Fukushima had exploded and they did all the dynamics to figure out exactly how many people would die. I predict that's what all of that, don't kill grandma stuff was about, in order to give us something to focus on so nobody would talk about the radiation like nobody's talking about the pagers, because that's a whole nother way that they can just very easily take people out. Right? I'm just saying, this is why I needed to just come here, because I was like, oh my goodness, this is too much. So let me see. I have the article on this beautiful little child so that I could say her name. Zadi Agentumobi, 3, suffered a cardiac arrest 10 hours after being taken to Broomfield Hospital in Chelmsford after doctors failed to spot signs of sepsis. Okay, let's go back to that article. Rising athlete deaths prompt Florida district to require heart checks. And this is in the schools. See, 1 in every 300 children, they call that's the N word for children, okay? They want to call their children that, fine. I got no complaint. But for us, our children are children. They're human. They're not goats. Okay? So they have an undetected heart issue. But, wait a minute. You mean this has always been the case? Then how come in the title it says rising athlete deaths? This is not the way it's supposed to be, and we're supposed to fight like nobody's business to save and protect our children. That is human. Okay? Whoo, our lives are a whole nother different type of energy, okay? So earlier this month, an 18-year-old football player from Port St. Joe collapsed and died on the field. It was the 7th student athlete death across the nation in the last month. 4 of them were from heart issues. I'm telling you, children dying of heart attacks, that's something you heard about from the elders when I was a child, right? So let's keep it going, because these are the things that, on top of the pages, we ain't talking about, right? Let's see, where's this one right here? The 6 lifestyle factors driving cancer epidemic in young people, according to Major Report. Here, this is the graph. This is the graph. Cigarette smoking. Oh, really? We're actually fewer and fewer people are smoking cigarettes. Excess body weight. Yes, people are getting fatter because the food has fewer nutrients in it. So your body is telling you, eat more, eat more. It also has straight up heroin in there. Might as well. That's what the MSG and all that other stuff in there is strategized to do. So you crave it more and more. Okay, and then the salt and the fat would be enough to make you crave stuff more, but they add a whole bunch of extra. And then alcohol consumption. Oh, look, they did say radiation, but they said ultraviolet radiation exposure. They ain't saying anything else. Poor diet. People have always had a poor diet, right? It's getting poorer, but not like this. Okay? So pathogenic infections, but look, it's going down and down and down. And they're attributing most of this to cigarette smoking. But it's nothing up here about all that water TEPCO released and keeps on releasing into the ocean. You might as well just, go get one of the free houses in the Fukushima prefecture because they didn't need to, what was it? I think it was about, I don't know if it was 600 square miles or something. I don't know how big Japan is, but I know that it's huge mileage that they completely evacuated. And that's what they're covertly evacuating the West Coast with, because really, they're going to just let crime get completely out of control? No, they're not. They need to evacuate it without saying a damn word about the reasons why. Okay? So you might as well just go on over to Fukushima, get a free house, especially if you're a pregnant lady. Like the Japanese really love themselves. What's that word? Shogunai. Shogunai, just do what everybody else is doing. Don't ask any questions. Right? Don't talk about the pagers and don't talk about Fukushima. Okay? So let's go to the next one. There we go. Tobacco use is going down globally, but not as much as Hope the Who. So if it's going down, what would account for an epic increase in all these different contagions, all these different factors, so much so that you got some white chick up there. Wait, I missed you, white chick. Where are you? There you are. Up in Congress saying what I've been saying, Dana Durnford been saying, Kevin Blanche been saying, a couple others have been saying too, but they got tired of saying it, right? An extinction level event, all of these different factors that add up. Okay? Stop. So, yeah, no, don't even try it. And let's go on over. I got something Elon said here. Elon Musk did something ugly. Chechen warlord infuriated after Cybertruck remotely disabled. All these electric things that they're forcing on us. They're not going to give up on the EV. The EVs suck. I watched a thing in China. Well, China's EVs suck even more because they do it on the serious cheap. I'm not trying to push up Elon. Okay, Elon is he's a, what do you call, a grifter, a hacker. He's just so full of crap. All right. They want all of this different electronic gizmos set up. So it's the Internet of Things, which long ago I looked at that because they did a weird, you know how they do the abbreviations and they just take the first letter of the most important parts of whatever statement you're making. But this one is like little I or the I, internet, and then they put the O of. Why did they put the preposition in there? They never do that. And then they have things, Internet of Things. And when you look at it, it's like, that's because it spells lot. And when I found that quote from the Talmud, I'm not accusing anybody of anything because all these folks, all these non-Black folks are working together. Okay? When I looked at that, where it says that for them, their prince is not going to come unless everybody's evil or everybody's good. It's a patent lie because just one. Allah sees everything, everything, as small as a mustard seed. To me, that means he sees it as small as an atom, as small as a quark, as small as a muon. Okay? Muons go straight through the earth. They're incredible muons. I do believe that they are like just a sign of the power of melanin, because I wonder if they are melanin. But that whole quote says they want to prove that evil is better than good. So they don't want one of us to be righteous. They want to wear us down completely so we don't even remember, because it's a lot of things that I just took in as a given when I was a child that I didn't realize till I got older. That's not going to work out, right? You can't have nameless sex with people and that somehow is going to empower your life, make you happier. No, it's not. And so they got all these people out here promoting. I said it years back. They're going to push that orgy on us sooner or later, because that's a way to, squirrel, get us just paying no attention to what we must pay attention to if we're going to protect the children. Okay. And so with all of this, it was remotely disabled. In China, there was every year they have this like not protest, but it's a forum. It's actually held at a convention center where owners of vehicles can go to share their experiences, good or bad. I'm surprised they have that, but they're not having it anymore because the EVs, all the EV customers who were pissed to the nines because them suckers be exploding, like, I mean, taking down whole apartment buildings because a fire will start in the garage, everything will catch fire, and people will just die, and they will hide their deaths. The Chinese police, when one of these EV cars explodes, they come up and they put a friggin' tarp over the car so that they can't identify if it was a BYD car or a Huawei car. So nobody knows. Nobody knows. And they protect it. So at this convention, before the people even showed up there, all their EVs were shut off. That's the pagers. Where remotely, freaking cowards will just stop you because they know they can't handle the truth. They cannot find a defense for evil. So they just have to stop it at the nines. Okay? So yeah, that's how I'm just like, things we don't talk about, things they don't let us talk about, all right? Things that you lose. You got a big channel, get it. They're going to take it away from you if you talk about the stuff I'm talking about and you happen to be black, right? If you eat, Fresh Twist, this is why, the lives, I'm like, okay, let me just edit it together because every single thought in my head just comes out. Fresh Twist. In saga of family values, GOP lawmaker explodes. This was just stupid. I ain't interested in this dude. He's a freaking Procyon loader. Antarctica's doomsday glacier is on the verge of collapsing. Huge ice sheet the size of Great Britain could cause global sea levels to rise by 2 feet. Study warns this flood's happening all over the friggin' place. And they are slowly but surely talking about it less and less. I am shocked. The epic biblical torrents going on in China again, the Chinese don't even talk about. That's why, I wonder what the connection is between Daily Mail and China, because they are so just nicey with anything, any China stories they talk about. They'll rip into Japan. Not that they shouldn't. But then they go nicey with China, nicey. I think they control a lot more stuff than anybody wants to say. But kudos to the U.S. for imposing tariffs. That needs to be done because otherwise China would destroy all industry everywhere with their ridiculously low prices for crap that is massively deadly and toxic and is spying on you in epic ways with people listening who are vicious. The CCP is vicious. You don't want them spying on you, even though I'm sure they are. Hi, how you doing, CCP? I know you watch too. But anyway, this is real easy. I don't even have to read because they're never going to attribute this to what it is. I could just go right on over here to the Maris map. And nope. Thank you very much. And just show you the reason why it's not our putt cars, but this is another thing that we don't talk about. I talk about it. But there's no black people who, I mean, really, this is so easy. You could just come right on over here, right? It's no hardship. You just roll through. How in the world you got? Let me show you again that energy graph that I have. How the hell are you going to have energy that freaking hot? And that's coming off of even just one atom. And then, oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Gotta do that. And then all of this friggin' radiation that they found. Look how much this Japan is underneath this, okay? How's that not going to be affecting the polar ice caps? Of course it is. Of course it is. Right? It ain't no Wi-Fi that's killing the whales. There ain't no Wi-Fi in the oceans. Right? This is the radiation. It's that simple. Let's just click on one. Let's see. One sample. Here's one sample. This one has cesium-137. And as I say, and I repeat, if you don't see a dot somewhere, that doesn't mean, oh, look, we looked over here and it wasn't anything. No, they didn't sail over there. They didn't go over there. There is no place where you could get even your sea moss, and it's not, especially since sea moss sucks up radiation. If you don't see it over here, because a lot of people say, I get mine from the west coast of Africa. I don't care where you get it from. It's going to suck up thousands and thousands of more radiation than what is in the water. They don't give a damn about whether there's radiation affecting Africans. They're shipping Fukushima rice to them for free. So what the hell would they care? Okay, I'm just saying is this sends out heat and energy. That's what's affecting everything. Okay, and as a matter of fact, let me go. Let's see, I could do it this way and go to the downloads. There's this guy right here, Nibiru, who I used to watch him when he was on here on YouTube, and I just downloaded the stuff because at this point in time they are in such a censorship hunt that I don't know whose information is going to be around today and it is not there tomorrow. And so he has one because I'm always talking about how the pools melted into the ground. And let's see, he has one where it says that specifically. Yeah, nuclear Fukushima melted fuel. Where in the world is it? And 3 full meltdowns at TEPCO admits it. And this is from 2012. You can't go and Google this type of information anymore. But this is something that I just happened to find it was common just information that was being shared back and forth before they took down E&E News. Right? And I think that me exposing the existence of E&E News to Black Us was one of the reasons they took it down. Because I remember there was also a conference that was a graduate conference that was going on down in Texas about what you could do to mitigate out radiation. And that was also happening about 2012. And I listened to their first gathering and it was very informative. And then they were going to have a second one, but suddenly it wasn't going to be online. So I actually called the college and asked them, oh, can I listen? And they said, oh, we'll get back to you. They never got back to me. Never, ever. That whole, meeting, lecture was never broadcasted anywhere because that's just for the white people. That's just for them. Right? So I think because on Facebook, I used to share what was being reported on E&E News as much as I could. And then suddenly, and a lot of the people who I was friends with were going and subscribing to E&E News. And I think they were like, whoa, wait a minute. There's Black people showing up. We need to shut this down. Okay? So I'm just telling you, when I say that those cores melted into the earth, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not making it up. It's just that they hide all the data. Taking down my larger channel took away an awful lot of proof. And I don't have time to just keep catching up to every single evil thing these people do. Right? And so, yeah, I just showed that. That's all I wanted to do right there. Let's keep going to the next one. Let's see. What was that? That was that. Right here. Okay. The new frontier of terror. Could our phones be used against us? This Daily Mail, credit to them. When they do something nice, that's really good. Okay. But I'm just saying, all right? This is after all those comments where people were like, oh, good for them. And I was like, wow, this is how they make war crimes, doing evil. You don't know who's going to be affected. Innocents get affected. And then they put up this, well, now we're scared about our own selves. If it involves us, it's like, whenever they have movies, they always have to be the center of everything. They can't just have a movie where it's another race of people, another nation. There ain't no white people anywhere. As a matter of fact, on my excellent novel, This Black, that was one of the critiques that a white person left, where everybody was giving it 5 stars until people started rolling in and giving it 1 because Black people like me scare the pants off of them or whatever nastiness they're wearing, okay? And so they left a review saying, oh, but can it really be good? It doesn't have any white people in it. It has 1, but he gets killed. I'm just saying, it's for a good reason, okay? They don't think about the seriousness of something unless it involves them. And so we can't be that close-minded like they've programmed us to be. Of course, it is natural for any group to be focused on itself. But our group, we are the stewards of this planet. That is quite the responsibility because we have some devils at hand. They must be exposed because as our mighty brother, Segun Ogbemi said, and he quoted what I say, which is when you kill oceans, you lose because it's impacting everybody. That's why nobody's saying anything. That's why Putin's not saying anything. Hold on 1 second. My nose is itchy. Okay, there we go. Putin's not saying anything because they're all working together. They're all working together. And so, yeah, finally, they did an article where could our phones be used against us? Oh, hell yeah. Let's go back over here to this dude, right? Yeah, predictive programming, where this has just been a feature of so many of their movies. Cell, Stephen King's Cell, right? And there it is, a photo where there's blood over there. They're not going to stop. When have they stopped getting worse? They just get better at hiding it because they don't want to be caught out there. Imagine being caught out there by the whole world that doesn't want to die. There are demons working on the behalf of these devils who don't want to die, right? That's why they even want to know what's the truth. And you meet some people, I'm not saying everybody, of course not, is a demon. But you'll meet people who are just like real, like, oh, you nasty, you piece of work. Okay, it doesn't mean they're an agent or they're an operative. They're just like mean people. But they flatter themselves. They all kind of do this. Well, I know what the heck is going on. I'm going to find out. Right? Find out that your salmon, oh, Lord, 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 let me find that. Oh, it's coming up right over. I almost missed that. Wow, almost missed that right here. Alaska lawmaker calls for fishery disaster declaration following salmon harvest failure. I've been going over the complete route of the salmon. They are a species that is really vulnerable to radiation, but they found Fukushima radiation in everything. When you got that Maris map there, where how in the world would there be a single fish anywhere that wouldn't have some measurable level of radiation in them? All right? That's why as you assist me, I gain the capital to get the equipment. I'll get used equipment. But test our food because these, oh Lord, sometimes I just want to cuss and I'm not because they're not worth me profaning myself. Okay? Why aren't they testing the food? Why isn't Mike Adams, who knows about Fukushima? He's got that big old giant lab. How come he's not testing the food for Fukushima radiation, for any radiation man-made? You could identify it. The process is Very exacting, but very simple, very understandable. Okay? Hold on. I don't know. I might be on camera still rubbing my nose. I haven't talked in a long time. But how come they're not testing the food? So that's why go to 25000yearcycle.org. We make our products amazing. It's not to be an ad, it's to be a rescue because there's nobody else giving you this data. And as Rosalie Bertell, a nuclear physicist, said, that's one of the reasons why nobody is working on the people's behalf because people ain't got but so much money, or you will use your money on the stupid stuff that they promote because they taught you this is what you need. This is what you need. No, you need to protect our children. We need to protect our children. And we're not going to be able to do it if when we're eating, we don't know what the hell we're eating. And so, right here, there's no more fish. There's no more salmon. There were record runs. Kudos to the guy who looks like he's a lunatic, but he actually isn't. He just is like he's a stream of consciousness. Kevin Blanche. Okay. He has been giving the numbers, and I got this link from him, and it's real weird because with Intrafish, I am don't subscribe because it costs a lot of money. And yet I get emails from them, and I specifically ask for anything with salmon. You know, this article was never delivered to my email. Never. I have dozens, rows and rows and rows of stories about salmon, 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 salmon. This one never made it. I checked and I wonder. Okay, I don't know. I can't say anything specific, but I noticed this one didn't come. But this one is the one that lets you know something different's happening. That Maris map isn't a work of feverish imagination. Okay? So, an Alaskan state lawmaker is urging the state's governor to request a federal fishery disaster declaration for the 2024 salmon fisheries in Prince William Sound, Kodiak. It's not just there, it's everywhere. Okay? Upper Cook Inlet, Lower Cook Inlet, and Shignick. I don't know how to pronounce that, right? Let's see now. Ends up at 70% of preseason forecast. That could have been like maybe we'll get 2 salmon. And so if they get 3 or 4, oh wow, drastic increase. They'll cook this. Okay? But at the same time, this guy is requesting a disaster declaration. That says there ain't no damn fish there, okay? Alaska state lawmaker Sarah Vance, who is also behind a seafood task force that will launch later this week, said the disaster declaration following a bleak pink salmon harvest for fishermen in Alaska's Prince William Sound. I can't get the rest of the article because I ain't paying money like that. They were charging, whoa, buco. Because once I did try to subscribe and I was like, oh, I got to get out of here. So yeah, these people are in desperate straits. We're dealing with maniacs, psychopathic maniacs. You can't look at your and say, no, who has pagers anymore? And I think that they'll just do this to whomever, wherever they feel like. Okay. The next one up here, New York Times. Chinese censors are letting Ye perform there. Yeah, right, Kanye. His fans are amazed. No, they should be asking questions. As I say, they all work together. Why in the world would China, with Kanye running that? She's just a harlot, okay? You walking around trying to imitate nudity as much as possible. That's what you are. Right? That's what you're dressing like. It's not an alternative lifestyle. There's no life in it. Just pure chaos. And you bringing the children in a little bit like that. It's okay to do that in front of children? Hell no. Okay? But China's inviting them in there. That's because China's on board for it all. Same with Putin. If China were really against the West, they would say the full, complete truth about Fukushima. They know. They know. Okay? So Let's go to the next one. And oh yeah, China again with their hacking operation infected consumer devices. And so the FBI disrupted a group of hackers working at the direction of the Chinese government. This is just where they play a Punch and Judy game, where they want to make everybody paranoid. Oh, it's going to be war any minute. China has no ability to wage war. It is collapsing. It's just going to hunker down to survive the upcoming starvation that they have created and just are increasing. I showed the pictures of, oh, let's see. Okay, hold on. Let me go. This one I have to blank out the screen again. Here we go. So that I could get the photo of China testing the fish for coronavirus. Okay, China. Oops. There we go. Okay, now I can share the screen again. Go. All right. And there we go. Okay, where are the fish testing pictures? There's so many. Oh, I think that's it right there. And is the other one? I don't know what's before or behind. But yeah, August 17, 2022, height of all the ridiculousness. And they're testing fish. Fish don't have lungs. No, they were just testing to see if it had radiation in it. It's because their people are they love fish. I'm not mad at them for that. But I'm just saying, there are epic numbers of people in China dying from all kinds of things. But when they say it's from the thing that they swear is from, no, it's not. Only people who were succumbing over here to something that they never proved using Koch's postulates actually exists. The only people dying over here was for comorbidities, right? And when it comes to what you could write down on these different documents, you could write down whatever the hell you want. Okay? And say, oh yeah, I'm writing this down. That's what it is. Right? And so this whole thing is it's ridiculous. Here they are, they're testing a crab. What, really? Stop. What killed what's it? 8 billion, went up to 9 billion. They call it missing because they didn't want to say just dead crabs in the Pacific Ocean. Trust and believe it would have been no threat to grandma unless she was eating them. Okay? I'm just saying, damn, these people like are incredible. So that was that. And let's go over to the next thing. Okay, I almost missed that. I'm glad I kept on going. So what's this one? Right. Alaska. There we go. What's this WHO one? I want to make sure. Okay, that was that. I don't want to miss anything because I always wind up missing something. Okay, that was a guy I didn't care about. There's the Maris map. That was another article. Okay, on our phones, and then this right, easy, and yeah, how they're the U.S. is doing their best, and that means they're only half-butted doing it. To stop this like hacker thing going on from China. I agree. I don't want China listening to me, but I don't want the US stopping me and then pretending that they're about freedom of speech, you liars. Okay? You know you lying. Court authorized operation disrupts worldwide botnet used by People's Republic of China state-sponsored hackers. They're just studying China. They're doing it themselves. Right? They got no shame about it. United States District Court, yeah, here they subpoenaed a company that there's a lot of Chinese companies and police departments. They're not just up in Africa, they're all over the friggin' world, where they are there to just round up any of their netizens who, because Chinese people are not a threat to white people. They worship white people, right? And so for them, free speech ain't going to be nothing that's going to actually show the wrongdoing of Western civilization, of the, oh my goodness, am I not a capitalist? I mean, a communist. I like capitalism, but what they practice, that ain't capitalism. That's oligarchyism, right? Where you just got certain folks who are in charge and they will determine who's rich, who's not. Kanye, oh, you could be rich. Michael Jordan, oh, you could be rich too. But if you actually want to tell the truth about something, if you're actually going to be a benefit to people, we don't like. Okay? So that's what this was. They were just, I got it. So many different things. School ball, oh, this was something where one of the things where we don't listen to each other because we think we're the worst people on the planet. And they'll make sure they promote different people, like, oh, that nasty thing, Sexy Red. Oh, God, she's nasty. She makes the other one who I also did a share on. I can't remember these different harlots, black ones. All the ones that I do the shows on or shares about. But she was introducing some, was it lip gloss or something, with words, and they were called, some of them were called gonorrhea. And other, like she's so desperate to be famous. That is a mental disorder on her part, without a doubt. But they will promote that because then they can sit back and say, see, and they have operatives up on social media who will then use her as if she's a measure of all black women. And that is so not true. Well, when we also look at what wrongdoing others are just exacting on the world, you can once again screamingly prove we are not the worst people on the planet. Right? And so this is the second Japanese child that was just attacked in China. China has a level of hatred for Japan that is off the charts. In their schools, they will teach kindergarten grade children to stab full-size dummies dressed up as Japanese, right? And it's not just about because the rape of, I do believe, Nanking, and I don't know if it was Nanking or which one, but Japan was doing some wrong stuff. There's no doubt about that, right? That's their business. Hopefully they can figure it all out between themselves, but they are imitating the West by thinking imperialism is the way to go, right? So that would be fine if they were just angry about that. But no, they're killing Japanese children who are in their country. And then there'll be Chinese tourists going to Japan. There was one I saw where this Chinese tourist was trying to they have these things called Nara deer. It's beautiful. It is so beautiful. I hope when we have our own nation, we remember the power of beauty, of providing a haven for each other so that it's appealing to the eye. And so they have different regions in Japan where they'll have all these cats. But there's this one in Nara where it's all these deer that just are so accustomed to being around people that they just walk around freely. And the people will feed them. They have these crackers for the deer. This Chinese man picked up deer crap, put it on the cracker. He didn't pick it up with his hands. He just scooped it up and then was trying to get a deer, smearing it on the deer, try to get it to eat its own crap. And he thought it was real funny. And they'll just do this. There's all sorts of incidents like that. So I'm just saying, how petty, how petty. And then you got scenes of chaos where they call them aunties, these Japanese elder women who they went through the Cultural Revolutionary times where they starved and just eliminated dozens of millions of Chinese people. And so they have this like, I am going to survive no matter what mentality. And they will just grab food more than they can eat at buffets, at, restaurants. If you put something out on the street, the elders just wander up and just steal it. Just steal it. I'm not saying every single place in China is like that, but there's more than you've ever seen us doing anything untowards over here. So that's one of the reasons why when you have a sister like me coming before you, this is programming they have in us. So you're hesitant. You're like, oh, no, she can't be real. Even though I've shown you all the documentation, right? So yeah, that's what that was about. Oh, and then just the blackening of wokery. That's what Kamala Harris is for. When you see her and Obama and Michelle, that's what all of that is for. So that they could attach a perversion to us like that's the natural us. And this is where they do it through that DEI, where they were also accusing Boeing of, oh, it's all them black workers on Boeing. And there are almost no black people working at Boeing. Right? But they'll go, oh, but the DEI programs. No, that's the gay folks. Right? One of the presidents is friggin' a furry. He's a furry and a transsexual, right? Or a cross-dresser. Okay? And so they want us to be just brought into all of that because otherwise their evil keeps getting exposed. Killing the ocean gets harder to hide because they need white people to lose a gasket on black us. Like we own these hospitals prescribing hormone medication to children, recommending just mastectomies, complete and full, to teenage girls. Where every single newspaper you go to, if somebody just thinks that they're really the opposite sex, suddenly you're reading articles where it's like, it's a guy, but they keep writing she. And so you have to mentally in your head, every time you see she, no, that's he. That's he. Because of gaslighting the entire planet with this nonsense. And you've got black elected leaders who won't say a goddamn word, won't say a word about it, not against it at all, and are actually promoting Kamala. When she was at some, gathering of black folks, and she's like, all my Soros girls, all my, Greeks or whatever. She's like, oh, because she was begging them to keep protecting her from those are black us, and plenty of black us who know she ain't black. Right? People been posting memes, I'm with Janet. I don't know what Janet came out later on saying, but when she said she wasn't black, go Janet. White looking nose or not, that's the truth. Okay, D.L. Hughley, please just find a building, squeeze yourself in the crack between the sidewalk and where the building starts, and never come back out. You are useless. You are such a suck up. Okay? So yeah, between those three, if they get selected, whomever's I think they're gonna select Trump because they want to resuscitate the reputation of white men. They've been doing it, right? They try to make being against perversion seem like, oh no, that's only what white men want, right? No, because you black people, you all woke, right? So I think they're going to pick Trump. And the funny thing is that bozo, compared to Kamala Harris, is going to wind up giving everybody a sigh of relief. Even me a little bit, even though I would never vote for Demon A or Demon B. Okay? None of these devils represent me. They are incapable of representing someone actually trying to do her best to follow the commands of the one and only. I'm not perfect. I know I'm not. But I do my best. I don't want devils speaking on my behalf. Okay? But Kamala's so awful with that wokery. They're going to make Trump look like, oh, thank God, Trump is president. Right? So what he didn't do in his first term, oh, he'll do it in his second. I'm just saying. Right? But if they get Kamala up in there, and they'll pick her if they want to. That's why she skirted the entire process. I'm sure they knew that Biden was, what is, Alzheimer's happen overnight? No, it doesn't. There's always signs. And I'm sure they knew there were. So if they're up in there, they're going to use that Free the Woke Way picture with Kamala hugging up on them two and promoting and increasing the lunacy that you are whatever you say you are. She's like Rachel Dolezal, okay? As president. She'll never clearly say she's not black, but she'll be, I don't know, that's, speculation right there. But when I saw them three together and they were saying that, oh, it's Obama who got her up in there. Hell no. Obama does as he's told. He's a dog. Okay? He does as he's told. So does Michelle. So, yeah. Next. Oh, I got that one. What's over here? Okay, that was the photo that I took. Oh, did I do everything I needed to do? I think I did everything I needed to do. How long have I been talking for? 1 hour, 21 seconds. Oh, thank you very much, Keating Roke. I appreciate that very much. And so, yeah, that's it. Let me just, okay, nobody has anything to say. That's good. I could get on out of here really quickly and move on because I don't want it to be too long. All right. Mwah! Go on over to 25000yearcycle.org. That soap is amazing. The Silk Hair, the first 10 purchases of the soap, and it's 3 bars for $25. That includes the shipping and the handling. So that is really amazing because when I give you soap, that's a thick bar of soap. Okay. And the ingredients are extraordinary. They're utterly healing. This ain't no ivory soap, no, what's that, Irish Spring or Zest, any of that stuff with the toxic ingredients where your skin is drinking that stuff in. Right? One of the first defenses you have is this right here. You need the best. So go on over there, and the first 10 purchases, I'm going to send you a free sample of the Silk Hair, which that stuff is amazing. Okay? So if you've listened this far through, you know about that deal. And you can go on over there and get peace, beloved brother. General Mosquito. It's good to see you, brother. Go on over there and avail yourself of that, because I know most of you wonderful people who watch my shares, and you understand what I'm saying. Most of you have not ordered from me, right? And that's something that I gotta figure out a way to get you to make that leap, because your sister is working for you. Oh my God, really? There's no way you could say that that's not the case, because I've been proving it for over 13 years now. Right? All right. Let me get out of here. Mwah! I love you. Peace and blessings. A straight black bride, and everything you see is ours. Love you.